What's up again, guys? Yeah, it's me, your friendly neighborhood Dovahkiin, and welcome back to Let's Play Divinity Original Sin 2. And before we begin, be sure to hit on the subscribe button for more great videos. Just to be clear, you are not watching one of my old episodes. Since we're nearing the home stretch of this series, I just want to alternate my intro and outro music between this track, the game's main theme, which I used up until episode 19, and Rivelon, which is one of my favorites and certainly most players of this game as well. By the way, my other favorite track is Amber Ale, which I designated as the theme of my Elementalist in his initial and final build videos. Anyway, Beast is already deceased in my playthrough, but the quests here are from his narrative, so as tribute, I'm gonna use his theme for this vid, titled The Queen's High Seas. Okay, in the previous episode, we've granted mercy to Windigo, the old Whammon, by freeing her from the God King with the Swornbreaker. And one of the two people she exposed as the most favored minions of the God King is the dwarf Isbel, who is involved in the Secrets of the Dwarves and the Missing Prisoners quests. Blood Dowry, on the other hand, is another quest, which takes place in the same area, the Dwarven Estate, and we will be addressing it along with the other two. The first thing to do is to investigate the wedding catastrophe, and there are multiple ways to enter the estate. 1. Directly persuading the guard. 2. Swaying a hammered dwarf to give you her wedding invitation. 3. Through the sewers. And 4. Via the balcony of their neighbor Cranley Hubert, which I will show later. Since my main is an absolute beast of persuasion, I'll simply convince the guard, then inspect the curiously intact wedding cake.
Over here. These?
Welcome, my esteemed and estimable friend.
Get away from the door! We've had a Voidwoken attack in the middle of a wedding. Trust me, you don't want to be here. And I don't want you here, so bugger off. You better have an invitation. You best be bringing gifts.
She peers closely at you.
All right then. Apologies for the delay, son. Step inside.
I smell Deathfog. So much death on such a lovely day.
This bouquet is mine.
And they look hostile. Time to play.
What in it? Did you make this God's blessed mess? It came from the doctor, with a letter of congratulation. It was truly a magnificent sight, and the wedding was cut short before we could ever slice it. Explosive wind-ups, you see. Voidwoken, sabotage. You'd think someone had it in for our little lady. You're leaving already? A shame. This place is a disaster, and I could use a few extra hands.
We already know that Dr. Deva is a demon, and for some reason, he also had the motivation to sabotage the wedding. But the Voidwoken bested his explosive plan, just by a few minutes if I may say. Anyhow, Red, with his keen nose, said earlier that he smelled Deathfog, so let's address that.
A statue of a trumpet-playing dwarf, but something about it smells off. The stone smells of granite and rosewater, but beneath the aroma, a familiar smell lingers. Deathfog. And then you see it. The horn of the trumpet connects to a pipe. The pipe disappears into the dirt. The scent of Deathfog comes from under the ground.
Alright, besides the Voidwoken and the cake, there's definitely another sinister plot at play here, and this one is huge, so to speak. Anyway, let's just ask the owner of the estate / father of the bride about his 2 cents on this matter.
Why, yes, thank you. Indeed, it would have been a beautiful ceremony for my Isla. Terrible tragedy, I know, and Uncle Paul so recently retired. Very good of you to come. Safe travels home now. Bye-bye. You've been proven a friend to Duna's spawn. So from one friend to another, I say, get out of Arx. Leave it far behind and never look back. I can't say why, but trust me, just do it. All right, look, just get out of Arx. Leave it far behind and never turn back. I can't say why, but trust me, do it. Say what you like, do what you like. My lips are sealed. If Her Majesty found out Oh, shit. Mikhail bites his lip in an effort to keep it from flapping further. We're both busy men. Why don't you get busy somewhere else while I stay busy here?
There you go. A simple slip of the tongue which ties it all up. As a part of the Dwarven uprising against the Divine Order, we knew way back in Act 2 that Queen Justinia shipped Deathfog barrels to Arx, and this simply confirms that her plans have been in motion for some time now, and the entire city could just be moments from disaster. But don't worry about that, because we have time. Plenty of time to be exact. So I'll address the Blood Dowry quest first. For this quest, however, the spotlight is on the groom Dorian, and I'll go for the path which yields the most EXP. Anyhow, bring at least 50k gold, because this is gonna be a very good investment opportunity.
The dwarf stares grimly into space. On his fingers he wears rings, some of which have ornate, rose-tinted jewels on them. You notice one has a gem missing.
What? I swear I'm in no mood to meet more of my wife's business associates. I've shaken hands with enough fishmongers today.
The groom turns back to the window with a grunt, anxiously twisting the rings on his fingers.
Even if I boost Sibyl's thievery to 7, the value of this unique wand is still way beyond the limits of what she can pickpocket. Hence, the 50k gold, or rather discounted in my case, to buy it from him instead. What we need to pickpocket though is the key to his house, which will be our next stop. By the way, I will climb down the balcony of Cranley Hubert's house to get out of here, of which quest, or rather downgraded to a side narrative, I featured back in episode 61.
I help you to know and understand.
Run.
Come on, throw it!
Oh, spotted something.
If I win, just tell me why.
Now just make your way to his secret lab, via a hatch under his bed, which unravels by pressing a hidden button at the fireplace.
I've spotted something.
What's this? I found something. Explosives. And we're locked in with them. No one struck a light.
Don't panic, just press this exact button. Okay, for this fight, just watch me. Take hold of the best tactical position. And that is how you make things easy. Don't forget to loot the chest here, because it contains a very decent fin-based unique helmet. Anyway, plugging all the poison pits / traps will serve a purpose later. Now let's just read some documents in his private chamber to learn about his gold digging plot against his new in-laws. Alright, we're back at the estate, and instead of squealing his plans to his bride and her father, confront him about it. and persuade that you are the right man for this bloody deed, which gives you 19k EXP right off the bat. An important note on negotiating your reward. Don't ask for the wand, cause you have it already, and choosing that causes a bug. Also, to expedite things, just settle for 5%, cause it's really pointless to negotiate your cut from the inheritance, and later you will know why. Again, this is the path which yields the most EXP, and don't worry about ethical repercussions and such, cause what happens in the estate stays in the estate. Simply put, despite the impending bloodshed, no one will aggro you outside.
I help you
The dwarf rubs his temples, his wings glittering rose gold in the light.
What?
The dwarf chuckles, never turning his gaze away from the window.
Pray tell me, what do you think you know?
The dwarf turns away from the window, his dark narrow eyes taking you in for the first time.
And what might you mean by that?
The dwarf is silent for a moment, his head held high as he appraises you.
And what would be required of me if such a thing were to happen? Very well. I think 5% should be more than enough compensation.
The dwarf recoils, his face is a mask of abject horror.
That won't be necessary. Just see that it's done. By goodness me, seriously.
Now let's whack the father.
Hey, breathe. What? Impossible. That's the wine talking, that is. Madness! All of it madness! I will make him see stars for this. As for you...
Okay, let's check out his corpse for his last will and testament.
Wait, he didn't even think to his daughter. He bequeathed his entire estate to his pig.
Yes, his pig Lulabelle gets it all. And I'm more than happy to smack this will in Dorian's face for him to realize that he gets absolutely nothing.
These people don't seem well at all.
Gotta give it to him. A smart move of poisoning all other possible beneficiaries. But as soon as he realizes that the pig gets everything, he'll call for a guard and blame you. Then disappear. Again, don't panic, just whack the guard as well.
The dwarf is examining one of the goblets and carefully wipes a drop of wine from his finger as you approach. You notice that the green gems that cover the rings on his right hand are now all missing.
I take it you've taken care of our foul-mouthed problem. Exquisite news. Give it here, and we can finish this messy business.
He snatches the paper from your hands and starts reading feverishly. His eyes grow wider and wider.
It's a joke. There must be some sort of mistake. The pig. He left it all to the bloody boar.
The dwarf takes a step back, staring aghast at the dead bodies all around him.
All this for nothing? No. I can start again. A clean slate. Just as long as they don't know I had anything to do with it.
The dwarf stops mid-train of thought and stares at you. He seems to make a quick mental calculation.
Wait, where the hell that door in front of you?
Gods! What happened here?
Alright, he didn't really vanish, but just went back to his lab instead. So, we are here to finally end his gold-digging ass. Anyhow, as per the inevitable fight, he will consume a ton of pots. Among those are immunities, and will teleport a lot as well. So, if you didn't plug the poison traps earlier, the battlefield will constantly heal him. In my case, however, he won't even have the luxury of mobility, because he'll get cornered on my first move. On a side note, his magic armor is considerable, so opt to inflict physical damage instead.
Again? Please. It was a mercy to put those dolts out of their misery.
The dwarf reaches into his robe, pulling out a gently glowing grenade.
And now, I'm happy to offer you that same mercy.
Now, just look at that amount of gold. Since you modified his gold by buying the wand worth nearly 50k, the game tagged him as a traitor. Thus, he died like one with gold intact. I told ya, this was a very good investment opportunity. Anyway, this is the EXP and gold breakdown after persuading him that you are the man for the bloody job, and assuming you've bought the wand from him as well. Though it seems you gain more gold by changing your mind and whacking Dorian instead, remember that by proceeding as planned. Everyone in the estate dies by poison. Well, except for the sleeping pig and the ones at the storefront, who are clueless to what happened inside. Thus you can ransack the estate to your heart's content. By the way, if you ask me, there's a simple remedy to Dorian's situation. And don't start by telling me that he should have just torn or destroyed the will. Cause normally, there would have been a copy of it somewhere held by the father's legal executor of the will, which is usually an attorney. Or by going so far as whacking the pig, because the inheritance will pass under intestate succession law, just as if there was no will to begin with. And according to that law, only blood relatives can inherit, which he is not. And if there are none left, the inheritance passes to the crown. By the looks of it, the Voidwoken already took out his in-law's entire clan. And in the aftermath of poisoning his bride and her aunt, and you whacking the father, that would mean, though only by marriage to his daughter, Dorian is the last relative, and the best candidate to apply as the pig's trustee, with the job of being its personal bitch, keeping it alive and well, happy and pampered. But don't get me wrong, being the trustee is a position where he can easily manipulate the inheritance of the pig. And all along I thought he was a wise guy, but turns out that he was just dumb as f. Anyway, that was just a quick run, but of course, leave no stone unturned. And the next episode will be the conclusion of The Secrets of the Dwarves, so stay tuned in. And that is all there is for now. Thanks for watching. Also, check out other videos from Sabbath Clan Philippines and subscribe. See you on my next vid. Peace out.